Hello, people. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing great as usual. And finally, I've got the man, the legend himself. After
Uh,
all this, while we gonna do a video on Kantara, the movie. Welcome back, man. How
yeah.
have you been all this while?
Hey Vicky, glad to be back. It's been great. Been busy with a lot of work
Yeah,
and
I know.
everything. So you know how it is peak adulting phase of your life. So
Yes.
it's been happening this and that. So yeah, I am so glad that I'm back, and I am even more glad that it is on a topic which is very close to our heart, very close to our homeland. That is Kantara and Tulunadu culture. Yeah, really glad.
Yeah, so I always told my viewers that I'll get you on a cricketing video, but happenstance it happened on this great movie.
Yeah,
Actually, to the people, he watched and he would call me right away in the late night and was like, "You have to watch this, I have to
yeah,
watch this," and
yeah,
he watched that gave me the final push, and I wanted to watch it.
yeah.
And yeah,
So
what are your thoughts? Nama ata tulutla paathiruga, and
yes,
the main
okay.
nama intention at the video, we want outsiders to watch this video and understand this
Correct.
movie. So ನಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳು
Hmm.
ಎಂಜಲ್ to enjoy ಮಲ್ಪೇರು obviously ನಮ್ಮ culture.
Yes.
So ಐದ್ರ
Yes.
ಬಗ್ಗೆ ದಾಲ ಪಾತಿರೈತಿ.
Hmm.
What are your takes? Let's keep our cultures and our emotionals aside. As a
Yes. Yes.
technical point of view, how good was this
Correct.
movie for you?
I mean, if you purely leave the emotions out of it, it was still a brilliant movie for any movie lover who goes to the film for the sake of all these immersive experience, may it be the background score, be the acting performance, be the storyline, be the the build up of the story and the way they are taking it up and finish the climax. So the entire movie was like a refined uh, what do you say, a refined art for everyone to enjoy, especially the movie lovers and even the movie critics. I don't think you can really nitpick on a lot of things. Obviously, you can, if you want to nitpick, you can nitpick on a lot of things in
In
any
movies,
topic.
yes.
So any movie. So, but with this, I'm telling you, it was just a joyride because it was technically so sound, and then clubbed with, if you put the emotions back at it again, it was nothing short of a spectacle for us. Nothing short of a
It's
spectacle.
such an eye-warming experience, I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
From a musician's point of view, I'll talk about
yeah.
Ajnish Loknath.
You
Yeah, I'll just,
correct.
there's a cultural thing that's going on. The background score, he's used drums, he's used electric guitars. The mixing is
Hmm.
so good, and the use of strings in his background scoring. Have you noticed even in
Yeah,
Olidavar Kandante and here too?
correct.
Such
Yeah,
swells, Ajnish and I, if you're watching this, we are such huge fans of you, and you've
yeah,
always,
yeah.
chosen our movies, our cultures, and given extraordinary music. Thank you for that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
go on.
mean, you're the boss on music technicalities, but then even for a layman who doesn't know a lot of
Beautiful.
sound mixing and everything, the background score was divine. The
It
word
was
to divine to the one word that will perfectly sum this up is divine. Probably,
divine
I mean, the variety of instruments used and to come up with such a versatile background for such a regionally specific movie
movie.
is a tough one to execute. If you see, he has used tase, he has used chende,
Back
he has used drums, and he has
drums.
also gone to rock,
He's
electric
gone to
guitar,
rock.
and
Yes, yes. That's what I was gonna come at.
I mean, to one of the major portions of the movie, he has gone to rock, and which has come out so beautifully.
It
The
has
blend, I mean, that probably the background score, everything, every technicality in the movie just elevated the movie to different level.
next
Each
levels.
time something came up, and even the mixing of music of Tulu folklore. If you can hear
Beautiful.
the
This
Bhutakola
Kundapur,
Paradane,
Pardane, this Pardane.
Bhutakoli Paradhan is being the that one.
Uh,
It just kept on repeating in the movie, the entire movie for 2.5 hours, and which is very beautiful to watch. Credits to him because he's been continuously associating with Rakshit Shetty, Rishab, and
the
Rishab
triple
Shetty.
R's.
So yeah, the triple R's of the industry, and boy, they are just making us proud. And the Karavali people, I don't know. We go out there, celebrate these people. We look at people celebrating them. It's just a beautiful feeling to see that, to tell that we are also from the land where they come from.
From there. I know, like you said, but let's talking about the music here. He's used
Hmm.
rock, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a cultural thing that's going on the screen, and there's
yeah.
rock music, there's shredding,
Hmm.
there's solos, guitar
Yes.
solos in the end. I'm like, wow, it goes complements so well, right? Like you said,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it
intensity.
starts off. Starts off with the Shehnai kind of
Yes.
instrument, and then it moves on to rock. I mean, the first thing, because see, me and you, we have celebrated Agam music also, and we
Yes.
know what sort of music
Fusion
Agam
music.
produces. It's like fusion music of Carnatic and rock, and that is one of my favorite bands ever. And to see the same thing repeated for a movie, and
Movie.
for a movie of such intense cultural diversity and regional specific music, with all, it could have used all of that. It could have been still been celebrated the same way, because people would have appreciated, okay, he's taking the regional music to depict the regional folklore of Karavali region, but then he has gone to a completely different music, and which is complemented so beautifully. Imagine, would you ever think that for Bhutakola we have a mixture of rock and
Rock, this
the
guitars, drums.
traditional
I would
music?
have never imagined. It was what a
You would have
pleasant
never guessed it.
surprise.
Credits to him being bold. See, being bold,
It is.
taking the charge of trying to be new, and here it has come out so good. So that credits to Ajanish on that particular aspect of it.
He's simply brilliant as usual. I mean, we've got
Yeah,
so many. We can talk hours and hours of all these guys.
yeah,
Now let's
correct.
jump right into the story. What was your take?
Yeah.
Before I ask you that, this thing
Mhm.
seems very real. It could have happened in our past. I've heard from my grandmothers
Mhm.
how lower caste people were
Correct.
treated and all how their bhutas were
Mhm.
treated. So
Yes.
although it doesn't come off as totally as they've mentioned, and they haven't mentioned anything like from an original
Yeah.
story, but these things perhaps could have happened, right?
I mean, it was the cultural setting 40, 50, 60 years down the
Hmm.
line, right? So now we have come to an age where it is not so prominent. Everybody gets respected equally, and still we have discriminations. But when we go back to days of 90s, 70s, 60s, early 1900s, the downtrodden were always looked down upon from the people who had power,
Hmm.
who had the so-called upper caste and everything. So see, the social depiction, it has come beautifully because it is not very on the face. It is subtle. It is subtle, and they're trying to show it with the main narrative, which is the main story. It is coming out to be such a beautiful mix of how to tell a story. So credits to Rishab Shetty and his writers team
Hmm.
who have done this. And yes, we have seen stories. Even in my village, Perla, my father, the community that we come from, we are not allowed to enter a Daivasthana. There's a
Hmm.
Jatadari Daivasthana. We're still not allowed, and only few months back there was another case where we were thrown out. So that thing is still
It's
there.
still
So
pertaining.
now,
Yes, yes, true.
yes, it's still pertaining. So when we see about that, it is, I mean, it's such a hitting the nail on the head,
It
because
is.
they are
It
just
is.
telling you the story as it is, which is in its purest form,
Mhm.
which is really amazing to watch.
Yes, that this is what I wanted my viewers to know. These are
Mhm.
not fantasy stories. These are the things that have happened in the
Correct.
past, and they've just
Yeah.
made a movie out of it, so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, I'll sorry, I need to add on this. The ones who do the Daiva Nartakas, they generally come from the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes
mm,
community. And see, when he puts on the Daivas, this thing, they are prayed upon, they are looked upon as deities, and we pray to them. But then the moment they are done with that, they are looked upon as such a low-lying creatures, which is so wrong, because you celebrate a man for half an hour, 1 hour back when he
mm,
was doing his role as a Daiva Nartaka, and now once he's done with it, you're looking down upon him, which is such a bad messaging in entirety with the society, and how we need to treat people. You just don't need to be like, oh, just because he's a deity right now, we need to respect him. No, it should be a deity should be seen in every person, and that should be really what I mean. This story has beautifully portrayed.
yes, and also a lot of few people, like in the movie, they showed that as well. He says it's not the god, it's the person that's acting, and how much of it is truth.
Yeah,
To us,
yeah,
we can't really tell, but what matters is our belief in
yeah,
Daivaradane. That is important.
mm,
What's your take
yeah.
on that? How beautifully was that?
I mean, Daivara, then one day, once this popular, there's something called as Daiva coming to that Daiva Nartaka for Mukkal Gali Kete. So, almost like telling it comes only three-fourth of the entire 1 second,
Mhm.
the Daiva in the man himself. But then it's not just about him, the deity coming into that person for that particular night. It's the belief of us people that we have instilled in that deity who's been seen as a protector to all of us. Now you tell me, for a character like, for I'm wearing a Superman hoodie right now. A Superman in the comics, he's seen as a person who is answer to all the difficult questions
Callings.
they're being asked of people. And it is the belief of the people that they have installed in Superman, which makes him the hero that they see him as. It's same with Daivaradhane and Daivas with us, because us Karavali people, we tell Daiva Deveran Nambondu Baita. We don't tell Dever Daiva. We put Daiva in front of Deva.
They were.
Dever. So that is how deep our belief goes. And again, every time it's all about concentrated belief of all the people that we have involved in Daivaradhane, and it is just beautiful the way we see our culture, still progressing strongly with all the might and
Glory.
devotion that we see. Yeah.
And also, it's so heartwarming to see our youths, bro. I mean, yesterday the theater was filled with our youths. The youths, they're still, so much into it. All the Western counterparts have really influenced us, our upbringing. But I'm so glad that our age, our younger age, are into Daivaradhane, Pilinalike, and also it's so great, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the most heartwarming thing anyone can, because for a culture to persist, you need the younger generation to continuously take charge of that particular culture and take it forward. And that we are seeing. See, I'm glad mediums like movie, internet, social media, these become very important, because with change in time, we need to adapt with that culture that is evolving also. Because if we take help of social media, movies like these, that will help in big time promotion of the culture that is deep rooted in our traditional folklore, and which is very important for it to persist. Again, Daivara, I see in Karavali people, Daivara, I don't think there's going to be any way where there is a withering away of this culture, because the deep rooted devotion that we all have, I don't think it can be matched and it can be changed, for decades to come.
And also, a few people who don't know this, Daiva is just a form of Deva. So, from what I learned is Panjuli is a form of Vishnu. Vishnu's avatar in pig's form, and as a result, it's called as Panjuli. Panji in Tulu is a pig. So, all these things I wasn't quite aware. I knew it, but I wasn't quite aware. But after I was watching this, like you said, you don't need a precursor. It's a brilliant movie right from the beginning, even from an outsider. It's quite viable. So, what's your take on that? Would they understand it?
Yes. I mean, for a layman, it's a good way to try and understand what the Daivaradhani culture is all about. I had a keen interest in Daivaradhani. I used to ask my father, who has done some basic research on what are all the Daivas about, what is the entirety of Daivaradhani in our culture, and what is the importance of it. So I knew a few bits and pieces where these Daivas are considered as Shiva's Gana. Shiva is their ultimate person who they devote their entire life to. So these Ganas perform the duties of gods in the form of a deity. Got it? So they come in as demigods. So they are not direct gods. They do the work of gods in place of God himself. So that is where Daivaradhani comes to its origin, and we see a variety of. So I am not a very huge, researcher on this topic, but this is just my few things that I've read here and there. So Daivas come in a different forms. So there are kings who have been converted to Daivas because of the deeds they have done, good deeds they have done. There are few Daivas that have come down directly from God sent to the land of Karavali, and we have been praying to them. And then there are different forms. So there are normal humans also who have done great deeds, who have gone on to become Daivas in our culture. So this is the basic understanding on what Daivaradhana is all about,
yes.
and on why we give them such a huge precedence. And also, if you can see, they are the acting bridge between people and the forest. So majorly, Tulnadu, we can see Parashurama Srishti that we call our land. It is majorly involves a lot of forest area. Now, for humans to sustain and also feed off a forest, you need some sort of give and take that you need to do. So Daivaradhani gives that beautiful bridge between culture, between your belief and also between your livelihood. Got it. So now, if both have to sustain, both have to give and take, and Daiva acts as a beautiful bridge between that, because Daiva, in return for you to get get prosperity with what you want to do, like for example agriculture, the Daiva gives you permission for this particular land. It tells that okay, go ahead, do your agriculture, reap the rewards, but also make sure that you're giving back to the nature,
Back to the nature, yes, true.
back to nature and back to forest. And that is how beautifully it is represented. Our Daiva, then our cultures are deep rooted on the basic understanding on how to lead a life and a sustainable life. So this is
Yes,
what
so,
I this is my understanding, and also which I think is the actual reason why we do a lot of
I mean,
Deeparadhane, Nagaradhane, be it Kambla, even Kambla. For
Kamla.
example, Kambla is depicted in this. See, Kambla is done just before they go for the sowing season. Now you're doing Kambla in a gadde, that is agricultural field. What is the point behind it is when the buffaloes and the persons with the halige and all run on the gadde agricultural field, what happens is the soil gets toiled. Okay,
Hmm.
tilling of the soil gets done
Feeling.
naturally. We are also celebrating our culture. We are also it's a form of entertainment for people during a season when there is nothing to grow. There is no
No entertainment.
entertainment. Now that is done, and also the soil is getting churned. So the soil that is under comes up. Got
Up.
it. And this aids us for the agriculture season that comes up. That is the sowing season that comes in the following months to come. So this is the basic. So we see a lot of culture that we are following. It's related to whatever we do with our daily lives.
Yep.
It's just it is a part of our life.
Like how we mentioned, Daiva act as a bridge between nature and ourselves, which brings me to a very interesting story which my grandmother used to say. So
Mhm.
long in her grandfather's time, in his land there used to be a Daiva. So whenever a thief used to steal his items, his Daiva used to
Mhm.
loud shout and tell him that your goods are getting stolen. So that's how close
Mhm.
humans and Daivas
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how. And also, thank you for sharing information on Kambala as well. People don't
Mhm.
do it out of spite. There's a lot of
Yeah.
history and understanding to it. And also,
Scientific reason involved.
if people, so many people, so many educated people are still believing in Daiva Aradhane,
Mhm.
something good must have happened to them, right?
Yeah.
So it is
Yeah.
not like they're doing it out of force or
I
something.
I mean, at this point, juncture of your time also, whenever you lose something, whenever you go, you tell Swami Koravaja, please give
Correct,
me
yes.
back my item. So why is Koravaja so important for people of Karavali? It is because of the belief and also the the tales that have turned true.
True,
Now they talk
exactly.
about Kantara being a Dantakate. Dantakate is a legend.
Hmm.
So it's a legend which has happened and which has been happening in the region for us, and it has bore fruit. And why should we not continue with the same belief and same furor that we believe in these deities? Because they have given the people of Karali feel that we have got back from the deities what we have asked for, and we have been blessed with a lot of things. So why should we stop doing all of
Exactly,
that?
exactly. We've talked enough. We can talk for hours and hours about our culture,
Yeah.
but let's
Okay.
get back to the movie now. How good was
Hmm.
the acting, dude? Come on, you've got
I
veterans. It's one other thing about these triple R's is that they work with the
hmm.
same team. All
Yeah.
great directors, all great artists.
Yeah.
They tend to do that, and it
Hmm.
reaps rewards
Correct.
every freaking time. This time it's no
Correct.
different either. So add on that, take on that.
Uh, do we even get surprised now?
Not anymore.
That is the real question.
Yeah.
Do we get surprised? But I was surprised with one person's acting. That was Rishabh's acting. But other than that,
You
everyone
took it to a
else was
next level.
were delivered on their expected scales. But Rishabh Shetty
Rishabh was another
took it a
level,
notch above.
definitely.
Notch above.
I mean, you
Definitely.
also told me this is not his usual direction. It's he's outdone himself, which is quite
Yeah.
true. It is the last 15 minutes though is like it's goosebumps. Even like you said, you get that vibration. I don't know if it's just
Yeah.
because our culture and all those.
Hmm.
You get that vibration. My friend who is a Muslim, I met him and he got that goosebumps and
Yeah.
all those. So that's
Yeah.
how powerful
I mean,
it was.
talking about it, I still have goosebumps right now.
It
So
is
thinking about it, see,
crazy.
I'll tell you, I was almost in tears. I was in tears. There was what what is
I
there
was
that
shell
can make you
shocked.
cry?
Yes, yes.
Yes, because it, my belief, which was already so pure and so pristine from my end, it was elevated through this movie, and
So
to
this
feel that, to make that happen in a movie theater, is credit to Rishabh Shetty for doing that, because
It
it's not
is.
easy to elevate emotions in certain with certain genre of movies, and he has done that beautifully. I don't know what do I tell. I just want to meet that person and
Even,
just tell him
thank him,
thank you,
thank him.
just
Yes,
thank
that
you,
is just thank you.
because yeah, I don't want to brag here, but my father had the opportunity to speak to him a day before day before yesterday. He had a word with him, inviting him to come and do his promotions in Gulbarga also, where there's a lot of people who still are not looking
Wait,
at Kantara
and
as a
also, Shreyank, I
film.
wanted to add here. Have you noticed the team hasn't been to Mangalore yet? Because they know this
Yeah,
is the main hub. They don't need any
yeah,
promotions here.
yeah,
I'm glad. I'm so
yeah.
very glad that they're branching out, like you said.
I mean, yesterday, day before yesterday, Kundapura owned all theaters were playing just Kantara films, nothing else.
Oh crap!
And that should be enough, and that is the reason why they are not bothering to come to Mangalore, Kasaragod, Udupi,
Okay.
and Kundapura, because they know the people of Karavali will go because it's their culture. We know how ferociously we support our culture and how we
Yeah.
do it, no matter who has done
Yep.
this
And
this matter.
also, it's been already a little long, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of things to talk about. There's acting, there's dialogues,
Hmm.
and cinematography too was quite amazing. But
Yes. Yes.
I have to
Maybe
talk
we
once.
should keep that for another episode where we
Yeah,
talk
yeah, we'll
only about the technicalities of the movie,
technicalities.
because we just see, for us it's an emotional topic, because as people of Karavadi will always feel like when you talk about their culture, it's we come out with a lot of passion,
Passion, true.
especially at least when it comes to Daiva aradhane and Nakaradhane and Kamla and all these culture. It is I don't know how do you explain this. The emotional quotient of that culture is on a different level, and this movie has elevated that and made us proud. And I wrote it in my tweet also that I am glad that I come from a land which has
Hmm.
such
So many
beautiful culture.
beliefs. Yes, it
And
is.
yeah,
Yeah, let's make a different video on that. But there's
yeah,
one man, barring Rishabh Shetty, that I always, talk about is Mr. Achyut Kumar.
Achyut Kumar.
That that
See,
guy is, I don't know.
I
He's
mean,
brought a bit of a comical timing to his character as well, despite being,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
not divulge
correct.
more into the story because let's not spoil it.
Hmm,
But have you noticed
yeah.
he's brought a bit of how? Let's talk about him a little a minute also.
Um, to put it in simple words, Achyut Kumar needs to be celebrated even more and even better,
Hmm.
because that man can do anything. Even 50% of his efforts looks like
He's
200% of
a
someone
man
else's
from Tumkur
acting.
speaks our
Yeah,
slang of Kannada.
yeah,
Man from Tumkur, and you can't
yeah.
even figure that out. That's a special talent.
For the first few years, I thought he was from Udupi Kundapura. To be
No,
honest with you, after Ulidavaru Kandante, I thought, hey, Achyut Kumar, he must be from Udupi Kundapura only, because the way he has executed his roles in that, because he spoke even the Udupi Kundapura Kannada, which is not so easy,
it's not
because
easy. Yes.
it's not easy. And when I saw, we got to know that he was from Tumkur, I was shell shocked. And like that man can do no wrong in his acting, because every time you give him a role, any role, be it a 5 minute cameo, 10 minute cameo, or it's an entire movie to act on, he will
He
deliver on
just
those front all the time. I don't think that
and
man can do any wrong.
any wrong. And with that, let's come to the end because it's quite long already.
Yeah,
Let's make another video on the
yeah,
technicalities.
sure.
But
Yeah.
before I end, we have to thank Mr. Vijay Kirgandur, man, Hombale Films,
Uh,
for backing this. Thank you so very
Correct. Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I mean, for a production house of that big magnitude, for their next film after KGF being such a deep-rooted regional film, takes a lot of courage, to be honest with you,
Yep.
because you have delivered a movie like KGF, which has grossed worldwide thousands of crores, and to come down to such a regional level, it takes courage, and it shows that they care. They care about the
They've
art, they care
art.
about the industry, they
Yes.
care about the culture of the state. And Vijay Kirgandur, Karthik Gowda, also KRG Connect.
Mm-hmm.
So credits to them, because they have heard the story and they have been because see, if they would have not made an effort to agree, it would have been some other production company, yes. But then, do you think it would have been on the same scale? Because Hombale brings a different level
Different
of
level.
high
Productions.
quality into production, high quality production. So praise to Virgunur and the Hombale team, because thank you so much, because you have portrayed, because what is being portrayed is our culture, the Karavali culture and Karnataka culture, which has been beautifully represented, and the way the movie is getting accolades from not just from Karnataka, from other states and other countries, I don't think there's going to be
Yes.
any credits that should be diverted from Mumbai films.
And with that, we've come to the end of video. And thank you so much for joining and sharing your knowledge about our culture. I guess we'll make another video on the movie Plane
Yes,
itself.
correct.
And yeah, happy Navratri as well. Then see you in another video.
Hey, happy Navratri to all the viewers and out there. And we really hope you have watched Kantara. If you have not watched, please do watch
Please
it.
do watch it. It's an
And
insane
I
theatrical
believe
experience.
we carried out a bit, carried
Away.
away with what we spoke right now in this in this video. But
But that's okay.
you should know it's a very emotional topic for us, and we tend to
Yeah.
get carried away with such a beautiful movie that has come out. It's an absolute
With that,
spectacle.
let's finish it. Bye.
Yes, Vignesh.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Bye
Yeah,
bye.
no
See you.
issues.